right, everyone. It is the final session, session 8 of Product University. I cannot believe that 2 months have gone by, that so much education has been instilled in our brains. And as always, I so appreciate you all for being here. I'm seeing hellos from Puerto Rico and Italy, all the way to New Jersey and even Tucson, where my sister went to college. So is it bear down for U of A? But anyways, thank you all so much for being here today. We have a fantastic session in store, but more importantly, we also have a final exam. So the session and the content that we have is actually pretty short because we've gone over the major important details of Riman and of the product lines. Today, we're really just kind of summarizing all of that into creating your own ritual or helping others do the same. And then we will go into the final exam. So if you are someone that said, hey, I just wanted my attendance, I'm going to go make dinner, you absolutely can do that. You do not have to participate in the final exam to be recognized and to ultimately be a Riman Product University graduate. So let's get started and I will share my screen. All right. Yes, so today's topic is the Riman ritual, why your skincare should and can always be self-care. I often say this, that so often skincare becomes an afterthought, becomes an obligation instead of something that is truly inspiring, that's transformational. You know, you get up early in the morning to get ready for work or to take care of your kids or to go to school, and you have to put something on your face. And by the end of the day, you got to wash it off. But it's so much more than that. It's all really a moment for you to slow down and appreciate yourself, appreciate your products, and ultimately perceive the difference that you can see on your skin because of those products. So when we come to appreciate skincare as an opportunity, it's really a fantastic platform for personal exploration and personal expression, so to speak. So designing your routine and its desired outcomes is a platform for endless opportunities of personal exploration, specifically with skincare treatments. You really are encouraging choices that are unique to you, even how you desire to style your hair or dye your hair or what makeup you put on. All of these are distinctly unique to you. Your skin concerns and your lifestyle also ultimately are going to influence your choices in your skincare routines, your cosmetics, and your hair and body care routines as well. So if you have joined me before for this final session, then you will know that the guy in this image is my dad. I always like mentioning that because anyone can appreciate self-care. It is important that everyone appreciates self-care. And my dad is an individual that taught me that early on. We'd get ready for a dinner or for our day, and sometimes he was in the bathroom getting ready longer than the rest of us because he had his routine and he appreciated what it did for him and his confidence. And you should feel empowered to do the same. Now, when we come to appreciate self-care, it's really instilled within the Riman mission statement. Riman is here to reimagine products and opportunities to inspire people to be the difference they seek in their world. And this is crucial that we really emphasize the world we're speaking of is your world, because of course there is also the world, but that is grandiose, that is large and very sometimes daunting to think about. To ultimately have an impact on the world, it is possible for anybody, but something that's much more attainable and digestible is also appreciating your world. And in turn, the differences you might make within your internal world can greatly impact the external world. So all we're saying here is that the difference can come in any scale and for any reason, but we want you to feel empowered with both your products and, of course, a business opportunity to transform what is around you, the people around you, to transform yourself, to transform the opportunities you see in day-to-day life, and that in turn can impact the world at large. Now, why do we ultimately prescribe rituals? Why do we ascribe to them? Why do we think they're important, these collections of products? It's really focusing on those basic tenets that we had prioritized on session 1 when we went over those product values, looking at K-beauty and the importance of specific formulation techniques and steps to truly bring about the results to your skin. But furthermore, in practicing a ritual, you have a sort of, what's the word? Not only agency, but you have kind of a greater respect of the daily habits of skincare or of personal care. In having a ritual and appreciating a routine as a ritual, you really have that kind of dedication to your craft almost, and that you can really romanticize what you're doing. So specifically with us, when we are focusing on these skincare products, they are all designed to fit within a ritual because treatment in K-beauty really focuses on prevention and protection rather than problem solving. They really require consistency and patience, so to speak, to see results because those ingredients are often more gentle in nature or gentler in nature. So at its core, Riman aims to work with your skin and its health instead of against presenting issues, such that those issues don't occur to begin with. Thusly, the importance of ritual comes from the base of each of these products and the identity of each of these products. Gentler ingredients meant to work in a concept of layering within a team of other products. All of these products are really conducive for great skin health when they are married together in a ritual. Now, of course, we simplified the basic approach of K-beauty rituals through the three tenets of K-beauty of cleansing, hydrating, and protecting. Now, with cleansing, we of course remove daily impurities and prepare the skin for further treatment. Hydration is one of the most quintessential performances for so many different aesthetic benefits you might be looking for. Not only are you replenishing those water stores, but you're helping with daily cellular health, and in turn, you might be improving the brilliance of your skin, reducing the chances of fine lines and wrinkles, reducing the chances of acne lesions as well. And to lock in all those efforts, you have that protect step. And protect most quintessentially is UV protection. But with Riman, we always look at your skin's innate protection, which is your skin barrier. So refortifying your skin barrier, making sure it is strong and fully functioning can truly help maintain all of those efforts you've done in those previous steps. What's also crucial about the prioritization of these three K-beauty tenets is that it's not solely for your skincare. It applies to everything. It applies to your well-being. It applies to your hair and body care as well. Cleansing and ensuring that your systems are detoxified is crucial. Hydration, both internally and externally, and of course for your hair strands is important. And protecting all of those with UV protection, with hair antioxidant protection and UV protection, with internal protection in the consumption of antioxidants. Really, when we have established these three tenets of K-beauty, we looked at it holistically because everything about K-beauty, or excuse me, about Riman is holistic self-care. And that is done through not simply prioritizing your skincare ritual, but appreciating everything as a ritual. The supplements you consume, the food you consume, the workouts you do, and of course your hair and body care in kind. That ultimately is what's going to transform you in your personal well-being. Now, again, back to the specific look of our skincare. When we look towards the appreciation of rituals, as I've mentioned, we easily create pre-designed rituals so that you don't initially feel daunted by the concept of creating your own. Of course, with the education and with the utilization of these products, we want you to feel empowered to create your own ritual, to find the Riman ritual that's right for you, but you don't have to start from scratch. And so we have a variety of different rituals that you can choose based on what looks good to you, based on what or how many steps you want to have, what products you're interested in. And so, of course, we have here our signature Riman ritual. So this is what most individuals get started out with. It has most of the products that's in that expert experience kit that you can hand off to a prospect or to a family member. And it's prioritizing that key concept of K-beauty layering of gentle formulations for utmost results. And so we, of course, prioritize cleansing as that first step. And now we have so many different options for cleansing. I know we've gone over this in previous sessions, but you're always starting with that moisture cleansing oil for that oil-based cleaning to remove SPF or sebum or makeup. Then you can go in with more exfoliation with the cleansing powder wash. You can choose between the balancing gel cleanser now or the snow enzyme as your daily cleanser. You then step into hydration. And even within this, I know some individuals that swap the calming balance gel and the two-phase oil mist. They do the calming balance gel right after they cleanse. That is entirely fine. What's really important for the design of any ritual or routine is that you must focus on the viscosities of your product. So it's going to be thinnest product all the way to your thickest product last, of course, oftentimes being your moisturizer. So even though the calming balance gel seems to be much thicker than the mist, it is a water-based gel. So it breaks on contact with your skin, giving that water-thin, refreshing feeling upon massaging in, thusly having a comparable viscosity to the products that come before and after it. You finish with your Bousse Boo and your dermatology cream, and of course, during the day, that'll be your moisture layer sunscreen. But we also have people that perhaps have used this and want to advance, or individuals that immediately know their skin needs more oil, it is very dry, or they have specific targeted needs. That's, of course, for our advanced Riman ritual. Similar conceptualization of those cleansing steps and those different cleansing offerings, but instead we're prioritizing those radiance and products as the main hydrators and moisturizers. Key here is that we haven't listed the moisture layer sunscreen, but that does not mean you should not use it. Typically, more often than not, I see the people appreciate the advanced Riman ritual in the evening, and so we left out the moisture layer sunscreen as it typically is a nighttime routine. But if you're using it in the daytime, please, of course, still continue to protect your skin. And of course, you can see here, any of these products that didn't show up with the signature ritual absolutely can. And we talked about that in creating your hybrid skincare routine, both in section 6 and for a Q&A in session 7. And for those that are overwhelmed, they say, hey, I use hand wash to clean my face, and I'm lucky if I use a moisturizer. We do also have those essential and basic basic rituals. And so our essential ritual, although it has a couple of pictures, it's just a few products. We're focusing on cleansing with just a singular product. And then you're going in with your Blue Boo and the Derm Cream and protection to finish. Now, you might have seen all of these also are in the drive, by the way, and we have both printer-friendly versions and then these colored versions as well. But with the specific Essential Riman ritual, we also have recently introduced the Essential Double Cleanse ritual. Same thing where you have a very minimized routine, but in this instance, you're also introducing the double cleanse of K-Beauty and of Riman. So you'll have the moisture cleansing oil first before your choice of water-based cleanser. And we have specific papers that go for your choice of either the snow enzyme or the balancing gel cleanser or the cleansing powder wash for the Essential Double Cleanse ritual. The reason I go through all this, of course, is to remind you that these assets exist, that you can hand it off to somebody so you don't have to be as hands-on when they create their own ritual, but that ultimately we wanted to make sure you had a foundation to ultimately create the Riman ritual that is best for your skin. Now, really to tie this all together, and I kind of mentioned it in the beginning, a huge part of really appreciating self-care as inspiration instead of obligation, and to appreciate skincare as self-care, is romanticizing routine and really practicing that agency and the discipline. That was what I was trying to look for. The discipline in committing to a ritual is huge because that really influences your discipline in other things. But specifically with the creation of your skincare routine, we really want you to romanticize it. Feel the products you're utilizing, remark on the textures of them, how they make your skin feel, what you are experiencing in all sensory aspects, but also enjoy the social aspect of your Riman ritual. Keep up with those who follow similar routines, help others design their own routine, suggest quick fixes or switches for individuals that are curious of a different product or different product line. We have a healthy Riman family, and a lot of that is based within the ritual itself. So, embrace that and take part in it. But you also are more than welcome to incorporate beauty tools for relaxation habits, gua shas, performing it after a hot shower or in a hot shower if you have the Bodolab products, lighting candles and dimming the lights to really have that relaxing mood. A great way to appreciate your skincare or self-care, if you can't get into the mentality of it morning and night, is to transform your environment, to practice sleep hygiene as well, and to appreciate your skincare as part of your sleep hygiene in really preparing yourself for a good night's rest. All of this kind of creates that different appreciation of your self-care. Last, but certainly not least, and again, something I've repeated, embrace the opportunity for personalization. Well, yes, a brand would love to create a skincare product or an entire line that works for everybody. It's really not possible, but that means that there's this fantastic opportunity for exploration and experimentation to find that right Riman ritual. So if you commit to the signature Riman ritual and you find that a texture is off or you don't like a specific product, you are entirely open to creating what works best for you, for mixing and matching and removing what isn't working. Ultimately, you're still going to perceive the benefits because all of these are Riman skincare products. And that is it for our session today. So as per usual, I still have created an outline for you to share. It goes over those different rituals, the amount of products in each ritual, how many steps there are, goes over the concept of self-care and K-beauty and those main tenets, feel free to scan it here, and also we will be dropping the URL in the chat as well. So I'll pause here for just a little bit, but stick around because that was just the beginning of this call. All right. So as I have mentioned, we have our final exam. I want to stop sharing here briefly. For those of you that do want to get on with your day or your night, I wanted to thank you and congratulate you. You are a Riman Product University graduate, and it is not easy to commit days and nights of education and time to attending these sessions, to reviewing the outlines, to applying what you've learned to conversations and to prospective clients. All of this is really intentional and super important, and ultimately your connection to the Riman products, and of course to me as well. So thank you so much. Congratulations on graduating. I so appreciate your time, and please stick around because I want to test your knowledge and to see how much you remember, but of course also give some prizes away to those that have really spent their time learning the Riman way. So I'll get back to sharing my screen now. Yes, so I keep saying stick around because there's prizes, there's fun things. So if you participate in this final exam, there are indeed prizes. First place will earn $200 in Riman product credit. Second place, $100, and and third place, $50 Riman product credit. It is, of course, supposed to be fun, so I don't want to put any pressure on you to win these prizes. It's more so just to see how much you know. And we're going to pull up the platform to play the final exam, and I'll go through all of the details of it. So please do not feel rushed in signing up for it. But I'm now going to get set up for our final exam. All right. There we go. All right. So on your screen, you should see a QR code, and at the bottom, there is also a code you can enter on a website, crowd.live, Live. So we are hosting the final exam on a website called CrowdPer. Super easy to join the game. All you need to do is scan the QR code. We're also dropping the actual URL in the chat, and you can also just go to crowd.live and plug in the code PK8WR. So I want to give you time to sign up for this. I want to make sure that no one feels rushed that they can't get into the game. So please, once you scan the QR code or plug in the URL, enter the required information so that we can identify you. If you are someone that has ranked, we want to recognize you. So please include your first and last name, your email, and then your planner ID number or your planner username. So we'll do this for a few minutes. I see 18, 19 people are joined. We have room for many more participants. There are over 300 of you on this call, so we'll hang out until we get a good number of people, and then we will start the final exam. And if you're on your phone, you can still click or copy rather the URL code that we've dropped in the chat and open a separate window. I believe it should still have me up there, but otherwise, if it doesn't have you up there, you can still play the game even though you don't hear me anymore or you're outside of the Zoom, and also see your name popping up. So if this is important and you want to participate, but you only have your phone, you can try just doing it on your phone and not being in the Zoom anymore, but you'll still, of course, pop up in the participant list. So again, you can scan the QR, you can plug in the code at crowd.live, or you can grab that URL in the chat. I'm seeing that the link doesn't work, but I plugged it in and it does work. Try it out again, just copying it directly. Or what you can do is you can go at the bottom, scrolling down here. It shows the website itself. You can just type in crowd.live and it'll prompt you to enter the code PK8WR if the URL is not working for you. Jamie, thank you. Good to know it worked for you. All right, we'll get started probably the next minute or so. Excited to see everyone joining. Oh, we got an actual URL. Thank you so much, Chris. I want to make sure everyone can join. I always feel so stressed out if no one can get into the exam. But again, it's no pressure. It's supposed to be fun. So hopefully you are excited. All right, so as we near the time where I will open the final exam, I want to explain how it's going to work. So we have 9 questions, 7 of the questions for 7 sessions, minus the Q&A session. So we have session 1 all the way to session 8. What you just learned, something from it is going to be on the final exam. And then questions 8 and 9 are a bit more tough. They are tougher rather. Harder questions, they are actually worth 200 points. All the other ones are worth 100 points. Now you have 45 seconds to answer each question. You can click one answer and change your answer before the time is up, but you do get rewarded for answering quickly. So you start essentially with 100 possible points at that 45-second mark. As the time goes down, the point amount also goes down. And so that is how it allows people to rank or to otherwise compete, because if everyone answering correctly, then we're going to have 10 first places and 10 second places. So yes, the point amount does go down as time goes down. But again, just do your best, have fun with it. It is not meant to be stressful, but of course, I know we all want some product credit. That'd be so awesome. So we're going to get started in about 30 seconds. I still see some people coming in, so I want to make sure everyone gets a chance. As we start the final exam, the code for it to join it will still be at the bottom. So if you know someone that's running late, they're trying to get to their computer or their phone, the code will still be there. Even though we might be a question or 2 in, they still have a chance to get the final spots. So without further ado, I think let's get started. All right, good luck, everyone. I'm so excited. All right, question 1. All of the following are true of K-beauty formulations except what? So we are choosing something that is not true of K-beauty formulations. And you are answering fast. Oh my gosh, we have almost everyone already answered. That is awesome. All right, just about 8 more seconds. Perfect. All right, let's reveal that correct answer. So the one that was not true of K-beauty formulations is that harsh actives are kept at normal concentrations. So in our desire of being gentle, if we do use harsh actives because they're well known or they have, of course, performance in products, we keep them to low concentrations. An example is salicylic acid. We have that in the shampoo and the conditioner. We have it in the body wash, but very low concentrations to maintain your skin's integrity. So let's see how we did. Awesome. I don't know why I explained that because you all already understood, probably already understood that. So 89% got that correct. And so at first place, we have Miss Shanna. Next, we have Angel. And third, Zara Jimenez. Awesome. Let's go to question 2. All the following are functional components of giant Byung-pool except what? Session 2, we went through the different components of the giant Byung-pool leaves. You might remember all of those little chemical names that impart the anti-inflammatory benefits, hyperpigmentation reduction, the antioxidant care. All of these different components are within giant Byung-pool except what? So make sure you're selecting something that is not in giant Byung-pool. I know it can be confusing. All right, so what is not in giant biuncle as a functional component is a salicylic acid. So all of the other components listed are parts of the giant biuncle and of any Centella asiatica. We have the triterpenes and their glycosides, the triterpenes being asiatic acid and madecassic acid, and the madecasoside and asiaticoside as those glycosides. So we had 49 people, or 49% rather, answer that correctly. And so that might have shifted up the player rankings. So we now have Selena in first and Dushan also in first and Janet Lynn in third. Awesome. Still new. Let's go to question 3. Which Riman key ingredient has a main performance benefit of hydration? Session 3, we listed a ton of ingredients, and one whole slide was on the different hydrating ingredients included in some product offerings. So which of these listed was under hydration? And hopefully it is kind of obvious. We'll see, but we have about 22 seconds left. Awesome. So I see a majority did get it correct. It was B, the 8-layer hyaluronic acid. Hyaluronic acid is a key humectant. It not only is naturally occurring in our bodies for hydration, but also, of course, is in products to attract water to the skin and to maintain hydration throughout the dermal layers. Specifically, 8-layer hyaluronic acid is in our Calming Balance Gel and is also in our Moisture Layer Sunscreen. RK Snowflake is in all 3 of the Radiant Sun products for brightening activity. Rejuvium R is for that DNA repair from daily UV damage, and that is specific to the booster. Cybright is specific to the Radiant Sun cream, again for brightening properties. So 77% of y'all got that correct. Awesome. And so we now have still Selena in first, but now we have Cristel Constantino in second. And I hope I'm saying it right. Is it Cristel or Crystal? I apologize if I'm not saying it right, but third is Rosa McDonald. Awesome. All right, Deserticola Plus is a concentrated form of lolulide, a microalgal metabolite offering what amount more lolulide than just standard or traditional sources alone? Session 4, we talked about Deserticola. So how much more concentrated is Deserticola in comparison to standard strains? All right, so it looks like this one was a bit of a harder one, actually. So the correct answer is actually C. There is 12 times more concentrated lolulide than standard sources alone. And so most people actually had thought it would be 10. It is 12, but I can totally see where you're coming from with that 10. And so that did shift up the current player rankings a bit. So now we have Maricris. That's a great name, Maricris Sitar, first, Janet Lynn now second, and Allison Pfeiffer third. All right, question 5. Let's go. The psyllium husk in Deep Talk Plus is known as what type of fiber? So I'm trying to trick you up here a little bit. So really make sure, what is it considered? We have a bunch of different options for fibers. What is specific to the performance of Deep Talk? All right, so the correct answer is that Deep Talk, is made of psyllium, which is a soluble dietary prebiotic fiber. So A was the correct answer. Probiotics are those live microorganisms, so that's going to be in those probiotic pills or your probiotic yogurts. Postbiotics are essentially what prebiotics produce. So that is the thing that you're your nice happy bacteria in your body. They consume detox, they consume a carbon source, they produce postbiotics. And insoluble fiber is fiber that does not ever dissolve in water. It does not create that gelatinization that happens with Detox Plus, or excuse me, with Psyllium Plus specifically. So A was the correct answer. 40% got that correct, showing our rankings. Janet Lynn is now in first, Allison Pfeiffer in second, and Calm in third. Very cool. All right. Question 6 and question 7 are our last 200-point questions. We move in then to the 200 points. So the game is still yours. Let's go. All right. So the following ingredients are in all Radiantsum products except what? So session 6, we compared Radiantsum to dermatology. We talked about the Radiantsum products and what is included in all 3 products. Of course, they each also have their own unique ingredients, but I am asking what is in all of them. Or rather, I'm asking what is in none of them. So 3 of these are in all 3 of the Radiantsum products. So we're answering what is not in any Radiantsum products. 5, 4. Right, so the correct answer was NMN. NMN is in the 3 dermatology products, in the booster, the serum, and the cream. All the other ones listed here are included in all 3 of the Radiantsum products. I also did just say this, Arcade Snowflake was in Radiantsum for one of the previous questions and gave myself away on that one. But the 36% of y'all got that correct. And so the rankings are as such. Calm is now in first, Catherine Allen in second, and Janet in third. All right, our final question that's worth 100 points. Riman's mission statement commits to reimagining what? So we just went over this. I know you didn't get a chance to study it, but hopefully it's fresh in your mind. What are we committed to doing for you in terms of reimagining? All right, I'm sorry. I think this was a bit of a harder question. So Riman's mission statement is that we are committed to reimagining and redefining products and opportunities to empower individuals to be the difference they seek in their worlds. And so many individuals did answer tradition and innovation. Totally get that. That makes sense. But I was going for our mission statement specifically, where we are looking to redefine products and opportunities. So now we have Marcus first again, Calm in second, and Heather Rymut in third. We are now in the 200-point questions, still 45 seconds to answer, a little bit more targeted or a little more specific. I believe you can still get them. I know you can still get them. And so, of course, you've seen how these rankings have shifted over these last 7 questions. You still absolutely have a chance. To maintain our commitment to sustainability, what forms of renewable energy do we employ at Riman campus? So this was in session 2. We looked at a picture of Riman campus. I pointed out the forms of renewable energy. This is a 2 selection question. So select the 2 forms of sustainable energy that we use at Riman campus. And a hint for you all is they're pretty common forms of renewable energy. You might see them on a drive between states. You might see them on a house. Make sure you're selecting 2 answers. All right. So the 2 forms of renewable energy that we use at Riman Farm Riman campus is we have those wind power and the solar power panels. Oh my gosh, solar power panels as well. So I tried to give you a hint because oftentimes I drive from California to Arizona and I see those wind turbines all the time. So I thought that would be a good hint. But anyway, so we had kind of well, let's see the distribution first. All right, so we had 25 answer B and C, 42% actually that geothermal energy. So yeah, we use wind power and solar power. Now we will show the rankings. So Janet is in first, Christelle back in second, and Queenie Tran in third. Welcome to the leaderboard, Queenie. Final question, y'all. I hope you are ready. Okay. Rimonoside is a novel trisaccharide found only in giant young pool with what main capability? So again, session 2, I identified that rimonoside is uniquely present in giant young pool. It has a main benefit in doing something specifically by reducing the activity of MMP1s. So I'll give you that hint. It reduces the activity of MMP1s. So what is its main benefit for the skin? I'm seeing a pretty even split. So MMP1s, a hint for you is that they break down collagen and elastin. So we are stopping the activity of MMP1. So what does that mean for us? All right. So the correct answer was D. MMP1 reduction in activity means you're maintaining your collagen and elastin, meaning you're reducing the appearance of fine lines and wrinkles. So we had a pretty even split between the 4. And again, those questions are meant to be harder. So sorry, long story short. For D, we got about 27% answered that correctly. And that means we are going to the final question, or excuse me, the final leaderboard, and thusly our winners. So let's see. Oops. Or we're just going back to the front. There we go. We'll show our winners now. All right, Catherine Allen in third place with 552 points. Second place was Mary Tran with 556 points. And in first place, we have Heather Riman with 570 points. Fantastic job, everyone. I think it's going to show us everyone. So you all did so beautifully. Selena in 31st. We have Joyce in 40th. All of you did so well in answering these questions. They're meant to be hard because I have many individuals that repeat Product University that are new to Product University. So I have to make sure we get all kinds of questions in there, but you did fantastically today. And that finalizes our session for today. So I hope you enjoyed that. Again, it was meant to be fun. And for the 3 of you that did place, congratulations. You'll be getting email from me in the next couple of days regarding the account that you wish to have the product credit deposited to. But we have many more product universities. If you said, dang it, I knew that, I forgot it, come join session 8 of next round of Product University. There's nothing saying you can't do that, but I truly hope you enjoyed today's session, enjoyed today's final exam, and thank you so much for joining Product University. You make me so happy. You give me a purpose in being a teacher, and so I truly appreciate your time, and I hope you have a wonderful day or evening, whatever time it is for you. And I will see you next round of Product University.
Yeah, I